Okay, so I have another question here from the WinGen project. I think the Wind Generator project or whatever it exactly means, but that's the name, the YouTube name. And he's a subscriber and has the following question about something quite specific, I think. He says, I get your point about respecting life and appreciating existence, but how can one be in a constant state of the now, in the now? I feel that I have to make general future plans on the basics of life, like food, shelter, clothing, and I also need to think about how I can do things better by correcting my mistakes I've made in the past. He can get my point that we should all learn how to be in the now and not think about past or future, but I don't understand how one can be in this mental state all the time, right? Now this is a very common question that I get from people when I speak to them. They can't imagine a life with no planning at all. And it's true. The WinGen project here, you are absolutely right. There is a practical sense to thinking. There's a practical application to thinking. But thinking is defined by the process of working out something that is either really in the future, usually when you're thinking towards something, or in the past, but both of them are past because you can't think about the future. You can only reconstruct past thoughts into a scenario of the future, which is still past, being used to project future. So in other words, thinking is the same thing, whether past or future, it is past. And the question is this: does your thinking have the intent on practical action or not? So let's say I want to go to the grocery. I have to go to the grocery store because we need to cook tonight. Yes, I need to think, what am I going to buy? I could make a little list. I could go and say, make a list. Well, how long does it take for me to make a list? And I also plan right away while I'm at it what time I'm going to go, because I need to still go to sign a contract today at 9, so I know that. And then I might have to go do some shopping, so I know, okay, well, I'll do it straight after, because first I sign the contract, more important, then I go to the supermarket, and that's it. I'll make the list. It might take me 2 minutes. You know, make a little list of what I'm going to do, and that's it, 2 minutes. But does the thinking mind do only 2 minutes? And in fact, when you look at most people's lives, their thinking mind is basically on a, what would you call it? You could call it a, like a, you know, like the flame of a boiler that's just always on. It's always just going on something, even though there's no practical action to be taken. Well, that's the difference. You could be silent and then you could plan. And when you think about it, when you really look at this, not even think about it, but look at it, you'll see that unless you have an extremely busy life with several companies you're running, most people can get away with maybe 15 to 20 minutes of thought dispersed throughout the day, because those thoughts have the intent of practical action. If you do not have the intent of practical action, it's just a going on. So what you'll find is people have to go do the groceries, but they won't think about it once. They'll think about it 15 times, like reminding themselves as though they're going to forget. You're not going to forget. Or make a list and you have it in your pocket, stick it in your wallet or something, or in your phone, and that's it. But so that's the real thing. You see, we mistake that thinking. You're right. Thinking does not have to be used. Does have to be used at times, but only when there's practical intention to take action. If there is no action or no added value of thinking, then it's just useless going over it again. Because somehow the separate self doesn't want to be here. It doesn't want to rest here as the complete stillness, because that's its death. When the separate self doesn't get to think, when the thinking mind doesn't get to go off all the time, it can't reconstruct its false phantom existence. And that's where the separate self wants to live. So that's the part that needs to starve. That's the part where you can be now. So yeah, you do have to have certain basics like food and shelter and clothing, and attend to those, take action, and then rest again. And you'll find that it's probably not more than 20 minutes. Maybe if you're a really busy businessman, you have to actually take a lot of actions and do a lot of things in a day. You might be an hour. But for most people, it's no more than that. So this is a future video. He asked me to make that, and I made that. He is a bit skeptical because he doesn't understand, but he does want to know, and he does understand. So I made this video for him, the WinGen project. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And for all you that enjoy that, I will try to answer questions like these, especially when they trigger me. I can't answer all of them, but if you do have specific questions that you're stuck on, you can always ask them, and then I'll try to reply to them and make a video about it to clarify it in the way that I can. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video again.